Sorry, y'all couldn't hear me. Good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you. I'm with you till I'm not sure today. Today might be a short day. I do have some things that I had to do, and I have somewhere that I'm supposed to be at 5:30 or 5:45. I'm not sure. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I appreciate everybody checking in. Uh, let me put the chat up. Let me put the chat up. Chat is up. Uh, Hold on. Let me start with this one. Thank you, Yissy. It's Friday. I put Friday. I don't know why it's coming up as Thursday. Only thing I could do is maybe shut it down and restart it. But I do have it in as Friday. So I don't know why it's coming up as Thursday. But other than that, let me say hello to the people. But I appreciate you giving me the heads up. I had no idea that it was saying Thursday. I appreciate you giving me that heads up. I always appreciate it when y'all give me a heads up about something that's not what it's supposed to be. All right, let's go. Let's get to this. Robert Willis. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Robert. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Do I want to do this? Okay, yeah, we'll do that. Good afternoon, Robert. Cedric says yesterday was the 30th. Yeah, I changed that, but somebody did tell me I had it up there wrong. Good afternoon, Robert. Anthony, good afternoon, representing the Wood. Good afternoon. Erica, good afternoon, representing Reading. I appreciate you. Sea Breeze, representing Boston. What's up? Good afternoon. Cedric says, what's up? It's happy hour. What's on the drink menu? I got a little bit of water left. That's what I'm drinking. Good afternoon. Preston in the house. Preston, good afternoon. Preston headed to the barbershop. I saw your comment, but I didn't say good afternoon to you. Yissy Reed. Hope I didn't butcher it too bad. Good afternoon. We got Nick in the house, Nick Brown, representing beautiful Blue Ash. Good afternoon. Ron D said Dave Stinger's in Florida now. Is that true? I don't know. Haven't talked to Dave Stinger in a minute. Tria, good afternoon. Tria's representing Columbia Township. She says, hey, King and crew. I still like that she acknowledges my kingship. You can't beat that. That's what's supposed to be. That's reasonable, people. That's reasonable. Diane in the house. Good afternoon, Diane. Representing Gulf Manor. Good afternoon. Y'all, I'm tired. I feel my energy is really low. And so I'm hoping that I can pick it up as the show goes along. And y'all might need to help me. It's hot out. I was running behind. So I got here like at the last, y'all know how it is. I tell y'all all the time. So I got in at the last second, flip everything on, get everything going. But I feel my energy is low. So I might need y'all help to get the energy up. Phyllis, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Tria says, why are you so tired? I'm just wore out. I'm wore out, and I cannot be wore out. I need to get my energy up. I don't know. Maybe the heat drained me a little bit. I don't know. Lewis, good afternoon, representing Sharonville. Good afternoon. Dwayne in the house. Dwayne, good afternoon, representing Mount Airy. Ron says, what's good? What's good, Ron? Ron was on some crazy stuff earlier today. We'll talk about it. Daryl in the house. Good afternoon, Daryl. Um, Heads up, the afternoon experiment merch still isn't available. Things just keep coming up. Things keep coming up. I really need to make that a priority, but it's hard to make that a priority when you got other stuff that you have to prioritize, like other commitments, and maybe even not commitments, but look, I want to do the merch. I'm gonna do the merch, right? But when so-and-so says, hey, I got to order, I need these many shirts, can you do it? And I determine that I can do it, the merch takes a back seat. And then when you just keep getting, like, and look, I don't even put myself out there. I don't put myself out there. And somehow people have found out that, I screen print. And so people be calling me, and I turn a lot of people down. And I refer people to a few other people that I know. They don't know that I refer people. Don't matter. But yeah, then people keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. And I'll be like, So one of these days I'm going to get to the merch. One of these days. My brother actually offered to help me because he does something similar. So he offered to help. I might take him up on it. Kimberly. Good afternoon. Kimberly's representing Bond Hill. Pamela Kinney. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Representing North Avondale. Jason in the house. Jason representing Fairfield. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Cedric wants to know, can we declare a no fight Friday? No, I had a feeling me and Ron gonna get into it. And if Twin call, me and Twin gonna get into it. So this, I don't think we can declare it a no fight Friday. Chelsea in the house. Good afternoon, Chelsea. Let's see. I haven't had any sweets. And probably about coming up on, it's gotta be, well, I know it's at least a week. So probably just a week. I haven't had any sweets in a week. No ginger snaps, no lemon snaps, no, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, no cake, no cookies, no pies, no nothing. Nothing. Diane says, check my potassium. Okay. Let's see. Did I get to everybody? Nat Turner. Good afternoon, representing Madville. Lewis, aka CK, wrote a letter to Fantasia complimenting her on her shiny elbows. All right. Can't beat that. Fan engagement is always a good thing. All right. I think I got everybody. Did I get Anthony Prosser? I think I said good afternoon to Anthony as well. All right. Well, good afternoon to everyone. And come on, y'all already know what it is that we have to talk about. Y'all already know what it is that we have to talk about. We got to talk about maybe some stuff being miscommunicated. And the question becomes, let me take these keys off. Got a few keys. It ain't a whole lot of keys, but it sounds like I'm a janitor. Maybe some things being miscommunicated and maybe intentionally. And then you have to ask, if it's intentionally being miscommunicated, why? Why? And some of this depends on who you believe and what you believe. And, how people are processing things. Story from WLWT News. Story from WLWT News. Eyewitnesses have not come forward. CPD gives update on Bramble Park shooting. And, of course, I'm talking about this because earlier today, I'm watching the Lincoln Ware show. And Lincoln Ware is saying, uh, witnesses ain't coming forward. Won't nobody talk to the police. I don't have the energy for it. Witnesses ain't coming forward. Ain't nobody talking to the police. The police said so. So it's gotta be true. Because, police never lie. So, okay, witnesses ain't coming forward. But then somebody called in to the show. I got no reason to not believe them. And it makes sense to me, just from a logical standpoint. It makes sense to me that maybe people are actually talking to the police. It makes sense to me. This gentleman said, I don't remember his name, Maceo, I believe is who he was. He said he and his children were at the park. And he and his children witnessed the shooting. He actually said, as he was running, a girl was running next to him and she got shot in the leg, I think he said. And he was there. He said that he wanted. Now, look, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying because he said it, it's 100% true. All right? Because he might be making stuff up. But he said, he described it as basically a chaotic scene. He didn't describe these as kids shooting, which a lot of people have been describing, because that's a good narrative to go with. A lot of us, we don't like young people. So something go bad, we don't have no details. We say it was young people. We say it's these teenagers. He didn't describe them as teenagers. He just the opposite. He said they were not. They didn't seem, I guess, to him to be teenagers. He says when the police arrived, or when emergency workers arrived, that they kind of created a perimeter and cleared the park. He says that he and at least one of his sons were 100% prepared to tell police what they saw. It's what he said. Again, I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying it's what he said. He says eventually, I guess some point between then and now, he has spoken to police. I believe he said he has spoken to police on 2 separate occasions, but I could be mistaken with that one. But I know he says at this point, he has done an interview with law enforcement. He has done an interview with law enforcement. This is what this man said. I believe, and this part I could be wrong as well, I believe he said that at least one of his sons also did an interview with law enforcement. If this is true, that's an if. Because, right, Tria, it's not in quotes in the paper. If it was in quotes in the paper, then it's gotta be true. Gotta be true. Because no one would lie to a reporter. If this is true, and law enforcement is saying there are eyewitnesses, and why would you do this? Because I want to read the quote, the all-important biblical quote. Basically, the news is the Bible. Says there are eyewitnesses, and those eyewitnesses have not come forward, said Detective Charlie Zapfi. Hopefully I'm not butchering his name either. Now, somebody lying, right? Somebody lying. The police say, or at least this detective says, there are eyewitnesses, and those eyewitnesses have not come forward. An eyewitness says, I was an eyewitness and I have come forward. I talked to the police. See, the police didn't say, we've talked to some of the witnesses, but we did not get enough information to make an arrest. We talked to some of the witnesses, but they didn't know who the shooter was. So we're still waiting for more information, someone who can ID the shooter. Quote, there are eyewitnesses, and those eyewitnesses have not come forward. Maybe we can split the hair. Because I would imagine that every single eyewitness hasn't come forward. That's reasonable. Maybe that's what he meant. There are eyewitnesses, and some of them have come forward, but not every single eyewitness has come forward. So he could say there are eyewitnesses, and see, but when he says, and those eyewitnesses have not come forward, I guess you have to think, what's in his mind? Which eyewitnesses are he talking about? Which eyewitnesses? Is it is or are? We're talking about multiple witnesses. So which eyewitnesses are he? That just don't feel right. Which eyewitnesses is he talking about feels better, but I think are is correct. Which eyewitnesses are he talking about? That just don't feel right. Somebody help me. It's is, which eyewitnesses is he talking about? Maybe because we're using eyewitnesses as a singular group. I don't know. I've never been that great in terms of English. But the bottom line is, it feel like somebody not telling the truth. Definitely not the whole truth. Okay, Brent is helping me out. Look, y'all think I'm crazy, but I like to learn stuff, and I'm not that bright. Brent says, which is the noun, and it's singular, so the verb should be singular. Okay, thank you. So which eyewitnesses is he referring to? That just don't feel right either, but it feels better than are. So we're going to go with it. But I think what's happening is, I don't really want to say what I think is happening. I just want to say, I don't like this. Because it plays into a narrative. It plays into a narrative that I understand, but I don't like. Remember yesterday, we were talking about Vernon, the Vernon that now hates me. I don't know why that's funny to me. Somebody hating you should not be funny, but it's funny to me. But remember yesterday, he had called and he had said, oh, if that happened at a white park up here in this white neighborhood that I live in, we would be talking to the police. We would all be in court. And what I'm hearing now is certain witnesses are not necessarily important. Like, just because you saw something don't mean we value you as a witness. That's overstating. Let me walk that back a little bit. I don't even think that they're saying they don't value those witnesses. But I really do believe a part of this is to keep that, I'm going to call it propaganda out there, that in black neighborhoods, they don't talk to police. Are there some people who probably won't talk to police? Sure. Sure. Sure there are. But I believe there are people who will. Now, okay, the argument, I think Wyatt was making this argument, which, by the way, if you're not checking out the Wyatt Live, you should be checking out Wyatt Live. Again, I say this almost every time, so I shouldn't even really have to say it. I don't agree with everything the brother say. But I think he do a good show. And I think we have to get to a point where we can listen to people who we don't agree with sometimes. And I'm not saying I disagree with everything he say, but I we have some areas where we agree, and some areas where we don't agree. You know what I'm saying? But it's always a good show. So I'm listening to Wyatt, and what I'm hearing Wyatt say, and these aren't direct quotes, what I'm hearing Wyatt say is, some people will talk, but the right people ain't talking. Some people will talk, but the right people ain't talking. And hold on, Twin say his show way better than yours. Well, then check it out. I'm for supporting his show. But you want us to battle? You want me to get mad? See, this is the stuff I be talking about. You want me to get mad because you say his show is better than mine, and I'm supposed to say, no, it ain't. His show ain't shit. Shit, his show ain't shit. Please. That's childish stuff. If you think his show is better, cool. Support his show hardcore. I'm not in competition with nobody. I'm me. So he was basically saying, listen, some people might be talking, but the right people ain't talking. But that's probably true. More than likely, that's true. But then how do you put that on the community? Let me explain what I'm saying. I think most people will get it. But this is for people who don't get it. And that's what before I explain it, let me explain my goal. That might help. My goal is to get mainly us, black people, but everybody, to stop painting black people in a negative light just because it's the popular thing to do. Because when we do it, then we hear us do it and we believe it. More than, there was something that Cat Williams said when he was on Shannon Sharp program. And I've always thought this, but I never put it into words like he did. And I was like, that's a good way to say it. And I don't remember his words. But the basic premise is somebody tells you a lie. And they create confusion and dissension and some self-hate and all that stuff. They create a lie to confound, confuse, distract your community. They know it's a lie. They know it's a lie. They pretend like it's true, not because they're fooled by the lie that they told. They pretend that it's true to reinforce it to you. Which is why I'm not really worried that black people, that white people think that black people love crime in their neighborhoods and all that kind of stuff. I believe a good number of them understand. They know that's not true. But they got a whole lot of us believing it. So they'll keep saying it. The news will keep saying it and reinforce it to you. So then you'll keep saying it and reinforcing it to everybody else. And they keep hearing it like, we got them ends believing a straight up lie. We know it's a lie. They don't know it's a lie. And then when somebody, anybody, come out and say, that's just not true, then they want to discredit you. You a clown. Can't nobody take you serious. Don't listen to that person. They ain't hood enough. You ain't in them streets enough. You didn't grow up gangsta enough. You couldn't possibly know what's going on. They find the people to discredit the people who telling the truth. Because, again, they know it's a lie. They done convinced you that it's true. And I think some of that is what's happening here. They understand people have come forward. People have come forward. People want to see change in their community. But we can't come out and say, we've had a whole lot of witnesses come forward, but we haven't had the right witnesses come forward. Because that completely destroys their narrative. Remember, their narrative is they like crime. They like living in those neighborhoods. It's just a part of who they are. They don't want to do anything to change it. And I think it would, again, it would maybe not destroy, but weaken their narrative. To say we've had a lot of witnesses, but not necessarily the right witnesses to help us nail this case. But they know there are people like Lincoln Ware who see, oh, it's in quotes. It's in quotes. It's in quotes. It's gotta be true because they got quote marks on it. And you can't talk him off that ledge. It's got quote marks. You can't talk him off that ledge. It's got to be true. So my desire is to kill the lie while not trying to make it seem like as a community, our communities are in the best condition and that there isn't, for some, a culture of not snitching. And I'll tell you why. You have people who say, this need to be done, that need to be done, these people need to talk, or the culture is this and the culture is that, and we got to get away from that, and we got to fix this and we got to fix that. You have people who say all that stuff. Carlton, that's a legit question. Y'all know I like when people ask questions. Carlton, that's a legitimate question. Carlton asks, why do you base your show around how Lincoln feels? And base the show around how Lincoln feels. You might have tuned in late. I just gave this whole long thing about this is the lie that's been put out to perpetuate basically a stereotype. He's maybe the example of black people feeling that way, but he's clearly not the only one. There are a lot of them. So it's not about, the show is not based around how Lincoln feels. It's just he's out there. A good portion of my audience listens to his show so they can understand exactly why I'm using him as the example. Does that make sense to you, Carlton? Does that make sense? Had Jay-Z said the same thing, and I was talking about Jay-Z, I'm not making my show about how Jay-Z feel. I'm just using him as the example. Get it? Oh, hold on. I got a call coming in. Let's go to the phone. Drop Squad is 52, right? Hello? Hold on, what's going on here? Hold on a second. Look at my audio settings. Everything should be fine. Hold on. Drop Squad 52. I'm not sure what's happening. Hold on a second. Drop Squad 52?
Drop Squad 52.
Emanuel.
Yes.
I can hear you.
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. You fixed it.
All right.
There was something wrong with your board.
All right.
All right. We good?
I can hear you, so I think so.
But the question is, can the people in the chat and the people on YouTube hear me? Because that's all that matters.
I imagine.
Oh,
well,
okay.
It's kind of important that I be able to hear you too. So they're not all that matters.
Okay. I hear you, E-Man. But I like addition, not subtraction. So, hey, E-Man, I just walked in about 15 minutes ago, and I heard you talking about how people can perpetrate lies, and then when the lie spreads around, somehow it becomes the truth. And even when the truth is put out there, people don't believe it because the lie has been around longer than the truth.
Yes.
Is that basically what you're saying?
Yes, to some degree, yes.
Okay, and for me, I think it's because of the Democrat Party, especially since the Civil Rights Act was passed in 1965, and all that money started going to the communities that desperately needed it. And in order to keep that money going, the Democrat Party had to continue to say things are bad for all black people. But a lot of black people took advantage, and they improved their situation.
Hold on.
And we never talk about those black people.
Drop. I just want to be clear that I'm understanding what you're saying. You're saying that the people who are spreading the lie that the black community doesn't report or tell police when, crimes happen, that those are Democrats who are spreading that lie. And the reason they're spreading it is because they're Democrats.
Well, I don't know about the police situation you're talking about. I assume you're talking about something that happened in Cincinnati. But I just gave you another example of what you're talking about. I'm not saying those people in Cincinnati are Democrats. I'm saying the victimization, the misleading, the lying to the black community started back when the Civil Rights Bill was passed, and black folks, rightly so, because the Democrats got that money coming, even though it was Republicans in Congress that got the bill passed, black people were being used and scared and lied to get them to continue to vote Democrat, and the Democrats would lie about the other party and other situations so they can get back into office and be in control of that money.
Wait,
That's all I'm saying.
And again, just so I'm clear, you believe America started lying to black folks when the Civil Rights Bill passed. But before that, America was totally honest with black people.
That's not what I didn't mention. Nothing about before the Civil Rights
Exactly.
Act.
You said they started lying to us when the Civil Rights Act was signed, which would kind of indicate that before then they weren't lying, if that's when they started.
No, it wouldn't. No, because before
Yeah,
then they were. No, listen, Emmanuel.
I am
Before the
listening.
Civil
Are
Rights
you
Bill-
listening?
Before the Civil Rights Act was passed, black people were voting Republican, sir. You remember Richard Nixon got like 15% of the black vote?
You do
Don't act like you don't know.
Wait, you do understand that the Republican Party then is the Democratic Party now.
Bro, if you want to say that, that's fine. But
It's
the
true.
historical data does not uphold what you just said.
All right.
That every Democrat before 1964 became a Republican, and every Republican became a Democrat.
No. I'm not saying that every.
Sounds ignorant.
No,
that sounds ignorant.
I didn't say that. That's why it sounds ignorant, because it came out of your mind. What I said was that party, which in my mind is
Say the party. Say the party.
which in my mind is the.
Who is that party? Are you talking about Republicans or Democrats?
Can I finish my thought?
Yeah, but you got to be clear. You can't say that party.
If I can finish my thought, or you're gonna make me say it the way you want me to say it.
It's called clarification, understanding as we conversate.
If you listen, then you'll get clarification. That party is about whatever the values and principles of that party is, no matter what the name of the party. So if you have a party and their values are, I'm just going to be generic, their values are freedom and love. And then you have another party and their values are slavery and hate. And the people in party freedom and love are different people than the party in slavery and hate. And then something happens and all of the people from party freedom and love switches over to party slavery and hate. And the people from slavery and hate switch over, and then they switch the ideology. Then they become different parties. So you'll be like, no, I've been voting for slavery and hate all these years. Well, hold on. That's not what they believe in anymore. So while Party A was the Freedom and Love Party, guess what? Strom Thurmond left what is now the Freedom and Love Party and went to Party B, which is now the Slavery and Hate Party.
Well, hold on, Emmanuel. Who was the party of slavery and hate?
Which party was Strom Thurmond in? Before the Civil Rights Act.
Emmanuel, you got to be fair to your callers.
I'm just asking you a simple question. You should know this.
I listen very well. You cannot answer a question with another question.
Well, you can.
I asked you.
I don't know who told you.
Since you're giving me historical background.
All right.
About people switching from one party to the other.
Uh-huh.
All I'm asking you.
All right.
Before the Civil Rights Act passed, which party was the party of hate, Jim Crow, and slavery?
The Democratic Party. The Democratic Party.
Okay. I just wanted to make that clear. Go ahead.
Which party was Strom Thurmond in?
He was a Democrat first.
All right. And then after
he was from the South.
Right. And then after the Civil Rights Act, which party was Strom Thurmond in?
I don't know when he became a Republican, but he was a Republican at some point. I don't know when he switched.
It don't matter.
I don't think
the point
I
is,
don't think it matters when he switched.
Well, it don't matter when he switched. What matters is that he switched.
Were the party
what matters is that
Jim
he
Crow
switched
and
because the ideology of the parties switched. That's what matters. So when y'all be trying to throw this, yes, it did.
No, it did not.
So then why did Strom Thurmond switch?
Because maybe it was because of the district he was in, the constituents. I have no idea.
Stop
why
it.
he switched.
You are not stupid.
Because I'm telling you.
You are
I'm
not
telling you
stupid.
right now.
He switched because
Emanuel.
the ideology of the party switched. You know it. Stop pretending.
Wyatt, the Democrat
I'm not
Party.
Wyatt.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, his show is much
Emanuel.
better than mine.
I didn't say that. See, I see you laughing.
I was picking with Twin. Come on, let's be honest. Drop. The ideology of the party switched, and a lot of people switched parties because their ideologies changed. That's just the truth.
Emanuel.
You can't even deny
Emanuel.
that. Not if you're gonna be honest.
Emanuel, I don't know why you do this to people who call and challenge the things you say. It's not that I'm trying to make you look bad.
I'm
I
not
just
worried
wanted to
about you making
comment
me look bad.
on you talking about how lies can become the truth to some people who aren't willing to investigate things that come out of the mouth of people who are in prominent positions, people who are leaders in the community, or people who are political representatives. That's all I'm saying. And I'm telling you,
that wasn't all you were saying. We weren't talking about Republicans and Democrats and all that kind of stuff. You brought Democrats into it. And I just had to point out, since you wanted to make it about Republicans versus Democrats, and that the ideology of the parties switched. It's not the people who were in favor of the Civil Rights Act at that time switched parties. They were not in favor of it.
Emanuel,
they
did. The Civil Rights Act, Emanuel, the Civil Rights Act would not have passed had it not been for the Republican in Congress. Because all those Democrats,
you're trying to trick people. You're trying to trick people.
Okay. But see,
those Republicans would today be under the banner of Democrat. And the people who were against it would be. I do know that. All we have to do, again, why did Strom Thurmond switch parties?
Why do you keep bringing up Strom Thurmond?
Because he was a staunch segregationist and a racist.
What state is he from?
What state is Strom Thurmond from? Oh, is it South Carolina?
Thank you. It don't matter. It really
does matter.
Because
it does matter. No, it is not about the state. It's about the values of the party. And if the Democratic Party had stayed the party of segregation and hate and race and all of that kind of
slavery.
Stuff, right, then Strom Thurmond would have stayed there. But he didn't.
You're not making
he
sense.
Switched. I'm making perfect sense. I'm making perfect sense, and you know it.
Okay.
You know
Can I ask you a question?
All right.
Could I ask a question for clarification?
You may.
So are you saying that when Strom Thurmond, Democrat from, let's say, South Carolina.
I believe it was South Carolina.
Okay, let's say South Carolina. He decided to switch over to the Republican Party because they were becoming the party of Jim Crow, segregation, and hatred. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, so when did that occur in the Republican Party? Remember, Emanuel, the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act were passed in 1964, an election year, and then an election promise in 1965. Okay? So I don't know what you're talking about Republicans being the party of racism, Jim Crow, and segregation in 1965 when you claim Strom Thurmond became a Republican.
Hold on. Now you're again, you're trying to inject stuff that I didn't say. I never said, I did not say.
See, that's how I work.
What works?
Nothing. Keep going. The people listening know.
No, yes, they are. When did I say what year Strom Thurmond switched? What year did I say he switched?
The year that we're talking about, the 64, 65, when the Civil Rights
No,
Act was
I never
passed, and
said.
that
I
money
never
started
said
coming-
that. I
Well,
never said what
era,
year he switched.
What era are you talking about? What era are you talking about?
I'm talking about. You know how these parties work, right? Because they'll come together for their convention in what is it, August? They'll come together.
The Democrats is in August, and the Republicans is in July.
So they'll come together for their convention. And then that's when they'll basically touch up their party platform. Right?
Right. Which
So
is decided by the state delegates, not
Right.
one person. It's the state delegates.
Exactly. And so when you see if Trump he's there and the delegates all, for whatever strange reason, the majority of them decide, you know what? We're going to be pro what y'all call illegal immigration. You know what would happen? Those Republican and then the Democrats in their convention decided we're going to be the party that's anti illegal immigration. Guess what would happen? A lot of those delegates would switch parties. It might not happen tomorrow, but as they see the party platform changing, that is how it works. As they see the party platform changing, they say, I'm not with that. I'm over here with this.
They're not elected officials, Emanuel.
That's not the point. That's not the point. It ain't the point that it's the platform changing, and then the elected officials say, "I don't."
Manuel.
Oh my goodness.
Manuel.
I don't know why you're trying to pretend like you don't know this stuff. You're trying to pretend because you want us to believe that the current Republican Party was the Republican Party that helped pass the Civil Rights Act, and it's not.
It is.
It is not.
Go look it up.
You go look it up,
bro.
You go look it up.
I know for a fact the Republicans passed, or they needed their votes for the Civil Rights Act to pass, just like Joe Biden.
And again, that was that was a party, and those ideologies switched.
When did it switch, Emanuel? Because a delegate.
You want me to tell you what year it switched? You want me to tell you what year it switched?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I don't know what year it switched exactly. I'll have to look that up.
Don't know. Okay, but
that's what I said.
What you were talking about, how parties come up with their platforms, is done by the delegates because the candidate is going to agree to the platform of these delegates because if he doesn't,
hold on, stop. You're pretending that you're pretending that Donald Trump has no sway over what goes in the party platform, and that's just not true.
No, I didn't say that.
You're pretending. You didn't say it, but that's what you're alluding to without saying it.
If you let me finish, you won't have to elude. Okay?
You're doing the eluding, not me.
What I was saying, fair response. What I was saying is the delegates have control of the electoral votes, Emanuel. So you can challenge the nomination of a candidate if they don't agree with the platform that the delegates participate, because that state can withhold their electoral votes, and then we have a challenged convention, which happened in 1968, coincidentally, in the same city where the 2024 Democrat convention is being held. But the thing that happened in 68 will not happen in 24 because the party changed the rules. Okay? So again, Emanuel, I'm not a fucking scholar. You ain't a scholar, let alone a historian. But the stuff that me and you are talking about, Emanuel, is deep in the weeds because this is where we traffic.
You the one brought that up. I was talking about people spreading this lie. No, I was talking about people spreading this lie that black people don't care about their communities. Black people like crime in their communities. Black people
Right.
don't tell on people. And if they're a
Right.
witness to a crime, they don't talk to police and all that kind of stuff in their communities.
Right.
That's what I was talking about. And you came in talking
Right. And I
about the
agree.
Democrats.
No, but see, Emmanuel, I agree with you. And all I said was what you were describing about the local situation is what the Democrats have been doing for decades. That's all I said.
All right.
Okay? So, again, Emmanuel, all I'm saying is, bro, because of what you do, because of what Wyatt does, and all the other people on social media, the audience is now starting to fact check our shit right now, right in real time. And that's why I say the lies are not working because the generations change. I was born in 1960. My first election I was eligible for was in 1980, which I didn't vote. And all I'm telling you is just in that 60 or 44 years, because I'll be 64 in a couple of months, things are totally different. Things have changed drastically when it comes to political strategy and how people vote and how information is put out when Barack Obama ran in 2008, because he was the first one to use social media to campaign. So, again, Manuel, thank you for letting me get in.
All right.
But, again, this country should have more than two choices when it comes to picking our president. It's unfortunate, but right now, that's all we have, and we need people like you.
Technically, that's not all we have, but I understand what you're saying.
All right. Well, hey, like I said, Emmanuel, I wanted to see what you was talking about today, and it was worth calling in, bro.
I appreciate you.
And I know I'm going to be doing this a lot more between now and November, because it's going to get heated out here.
All right.
All right. Peace out, Emmanuel.
Have a good one. All right. Let's drop Squad 52. And look, don't take my word for it. Please don't take my word for it. I don't have all of the numbers and years that this happened and what year that happened and all of that kind of stuff. I don't have all of that. But I have an understanding of what happened. I think he has an understanding of what happened too, but it doesn't fit the narrative that he's trying to put out there. So he has to act like he don't know. You know, I have no idea why white supremacists would switch from Democrat to Republican. No idea. Because the ideology of the parties changed. That's where they get some of y'all. Like Twin. I'm going to have to pick on Twin today because Twin been trying to throw shots and I had to throw them back because it's in my nature. Like Twin, the twins of the world are easily fooled. And that's who they going for. That's the low-hanging fruit. That's who they going for. And you can just eloquently tell a lie. Some people believe a lie because it's been told eloquently. Or, you know, depending on what they like. Like you find the right messenger. You find, you know, kind of a hood sounding messenger. You could snatch him up. What? He from the hood. I'm from the hood. And what he's saying is sound like the way he talks sound like the way I talk. So what he's saying got to be true. So, you know, that's how you end up in that position. But what I was saying before he called in, what I was getting into was we talk about how we have to change the culture of the community. And on there, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm being 100%, oh, they won't let me get to this. Because they don't want to get to this. This is the part that they don't like what I'm trying to say. But Let me go back to the phone. Ron,
What's up?
how you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. You ain't think I was gonna trip with you over that little comment that you made. I said what you said. What you said. I said what I said.
Which comment?
When you was talking about me sucking Fred dick.
You were, I don't want to use that terminology, but you were virtually giving him fellatio.
Nigga, whatever.
You were. Hold on, Ron. Let me clue the people into what I'm talking about.
If I was giving him fellatio, you was giving me mine.
Nope, that's not true. That doesn't even make sense. But let me tell the people what we talking about so they not confused. Okay.
Oh, I can tell them because
Okay, go ahead. You tell them. Go ahead, tell them.
They call Craig KKK Craig.
Uh-huh.
And I don't remember the exact wording that I used. I said it's not fair that people sit there and call you that name and complain about racism. I said, but we're not all like that. And I stand on that shit.
I believe you stand on it. Now let me tell you why I said I believe you were virtually giving him fellatio. And that was my way of saying you was being a yes sir boss sir type dude. Like why would you say to a dude? Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk. Go ahead. That's not being decent. That's not being decent.
That was being a decent motherfucker.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
I don't want to talk about that shit because it ain't.
No, it wasn't.
It don't mean shit.
Well, I want to talk about it.
Okay, well, let you talk about it.
All right. So what happens is Craig, who many believe to be clearly racist. I believe Craig to be clearly racist. Okay? And so people hear the things that he says and based on you said you didn't want to talk about it, so let me talk about it.
Yeah, but I hear Craig too.
Hold on,
so
you said you didn't want to talk about it. Why are you talking about it? I said I'm gonna talk about it. You said go ahead.
I'm gonna talk about it. What you said you're gonna
but you said you don't want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about it since you're gonna talk about it.
Well, then let me get mine out and then you get yours out. Can I get mine out since you didn't want to talk about it?
Go ahead.
All right. So if you listen to Craig, for a lot of people, you can see or the things that he says leads us to believe that he's clearly racist. So you say to a guy who says things that lead you to believe that he's racist, you say, that's some racist shit, right? And then some black guy comes up behind you and says, I don't like the day. Can I get it out? Can I get it out? Hold on, can I get it out? Okay. So then you say to the white guy who said some stuff that you believe is racist, you say that's some racist shit. And then some black guy come up behind you like, can I get it out?
Go ahead.
And then some black guy come up behind you like, I don't like the fact that he said you were racist. And for him to say that you were racist and call you names and then complain about you being a racist, we ain't all like that. That is some straight up sucker. I almost used the C word. That is what's that dude from the Boondocks with the one big eye?
Now let me give it to you the way I said it. Now see, I think first of all, a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of white people can't be racially insensitive all the time. Some all the fucking time. Some shit they say to be snide. Some shit they say just because they heard it said somewhere else. Just like they say, oh well, how come black people killing their community? Why is there so much black on black crime? I already know that shit. But what the fuck? What's the fucking trip to me? How fucking ugly people are.
Okay.
That they ugly to each other. And see, and I'll tell you, when y'all attack me, clearly, I'll make it known. Y'all can kiss my ass and everything, all that shit.
Okay.
But I don't attack no. You know, I dealt with a racist ass doctor today, and you know me and my history with doctors. You know what I'm saying, but you know, I gotta sit there and do what's rightful to do for me, nigga. And I mean, you know, you don't just sit back and go attack and fuck around and think race gonna get better when you race bait and then call motherfuckers KKK Craig and all that other little shit. White folk. I believe that's why Lincoln driving that motherfucking car, because he lost that damn contract because of all that fucking racist shit that they be saying on the motherfucking radio. I bet that shit. I'll bet my life on that shit.
Ron.
Well, not my life, but I bet a whole bunch of money.
I wouldn't bet your life on that.
Yeah. I bet a whole bunch of money on that shit. It's a trip. We got to stop that shit.
Uncle Ron.
We just got to stop that shit. We be man. I be seeing some.
May I ask you a question?
What?
If a dude comes to your house, this is purely hypothetical, so you could always answer, I don't know what I would do. But if a dude comes to your house, right, and basically tries to enforce his racist views on you, would you be okay with that? White dude, white Klansman, come to your house and try to enforce whatever racist views he has on you. Would you be okay with that?
That is the fucking dumbest shit in the world.
Why
would a white racist come and go?
Who knows why? Who knows why?
Shit,
but if he did, would you be okay with it?
All that bullshit.
If he did, would you be okay with it?
That's just rhetoric.
Hold on. If he did, would you be okay with it?
I don't know.
Here's why I'm asking the question. Let me clarify as to why I'm asking that question. Because what happens is a lot of what happens is what happens is a lot of people feel like the so-called black radio station is for us. And for somebody to then come into our house. Now, of course, it's not our house. It's metaphorical. Someone to come into our metaphorical house and start spouting their racist views. It's reasonable for the people in the house to say, no, bro, we ain't putting up. You a racist. You need to get out of here with that. That's reasonable.
Okay, now that's reasonable.
And then for some black dude to be like, I don't like them calling you names. That ain't right for them saying you're a racist. I still love you. You know what I'm saying? That
way. Nigga, I don't talk that way, and you know that shit. And I ain't mean that shit that way. I meant just exactly what the fuck I said.
What did you say again?
People be ugly out here.
What did you say?
People be
I forgot. Tell me what you said again.
I'm going to just sum it up to this, because I want to get to what you say.
Now, can you tell me what you actually said? It's only like 3 lines. Tell me what you said.
Nigga, I said, man, get the fuck out of here, man.
What?
You pretty.
It's only like 3 lines. Tell me what you said.
Listen, I don't remember what that shit was. Say it for me. Say it for me. Say it for me again.
I don't like them calling you a racist. They so wrong for that. I don't think you're a racist. You all right with me?
No, you not. Now you telling a damn lie.
That's to the best of my recollection. That's to the best of my recollection.
But see, a motherfucker that gotta do that shit to prove they motherfucking point. So, but see, I'ma say what my point is, nigga. My point is, you can't act all ugly and think things gonna get better. I mean, shit, man, motherfuckers ain't tired of hating. Shit,
Kissing a racist butt
Man.
is not gonna ever make things better.
That shit, man. I get tired of all that shit. I get tired of all this.
So then, instead of kissing his butt, why don't you say to him, instead of kissing his butt and taking his side, why wouldn't you just say to him, like, yo, Craig, do you really have to be so incendiary in here? The hatred is overwhelming.
I want to say that shit to y'all black ass, because y'all black ass the one always talking about somebody being racist.
If they racist, what's wrong with saying that a racist is racist?
But motherfucker, y'all say racist and shit, and they don't even be racist. Listen, I ain't want to talk about that shit.
All right, we won't talk about it no more.
You said that the Republicans switched sides. The Democrats were Republicans, and Republicans were now Democrats.
The ideology of both parties switched. Yes.
Now, wait. You trying to tell me that every last one of the Republicans, it's Strom Thurmond included, every last one of the Republicans switched parties.
And
every last one of the Democrats,
You want me to answer?
Switch party and switch party to Republicans.
Do you want me to answer?
Yes.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay. No, that's it. That's it. It's bullshit.
It's
the
not.
The thing about it is, it's bullshit. Both parties bullshit.
Look, I'll agree with you on that.
It depends upon who grieves in the most motherfucking.
No. Not always, Ron. Not always. Look, come on, Ron. Let's put your Ron. Can you do me a favor? I'm genuinely asking you to do me a favor.
All right.
Will you, for the sake of this portion of the conversation, put your Republican hat or whatever it is away?
I ain't no Republican.
All right. And let's be honest and talk. Hold on. Let's be honest and talk. There are certain times. I have to ask some clarifying questions, okay? They might seem a little silly, but please just indulge me for just a moment. Do you believe that the Voting Rights Act was important to black people in America? Wow.
In this aspect. Oh, so now you're talking about the one Martin Luther King signed with Civil Rights Agreement, right?
Sure.
The one that Martin Luther King signed with LBJ.
Sure.
If you're talking about that, I totally disagree with that. I think we should have just kept separate. And Martin Luther King said the same thing.
Hold on. No. You might not have heard me correctly. I said the Voting Rights Act, not the Civil Rights Act, integration, all that kind of stuff.
I asked a clarifying question.
That's why I said the Voting Rights Act. Do you believe that was important to black people in America?
The John Lewis Bill. You said the Voting Rights Act.
Hold on. Do you remember? Do you remember back in when you study civil rights, where black people were trying to? Can I get it out? You wanted clarification. I want to get it out for you. Where black people were trying to vote, but they wouldn't let black people vote. Like they would put all of these barriers in front of them, like you got to count the bubbles in the soap and all that kind of stuff.
It's important.
Okay.
It's important.
All right. So
I mean, yeah, that seemed a little silly.
Okay. No, I get that it might seem silly, but here's why I'm asking. We can say both parties is on some BS, and I can agree with you on that. But when you look at, there are certain events, and when you look at it, and you're like, hold on, black people should be able to vote. And if one party is saying, no, don't let those ends vote, and the other party is saying, we really need to vote so that to protect their right to vote. While both parties is BS, There are certain pieces of legislation and certain times in history when they can both be BS, but one is on the right side of history and the other is on the wrong side of history, right?
What is it? In what world? Oh, so who's on the right part of history?
The people who wanted to protect the rights of black people to vote. They were on the right side of history. The people who fought against protecting black people's right to vote were on the wrong side of history.
Wait a minute. First of all, you don't know the makeup of who voted which way. First of all. And second of all, I think it's really fucking pathetic and insignificant to even back up that fault. Because
What?
One thing about it.
Wait, what did you say? You think it's insignificant to do what? I missed what you said.
Pathetic and insignificant to back up so far when we were discussing this.
Wait, what do you think we're discussing?
No. Well, I'm trying to continue the conversation that you had with Fame or whoever. Who was that?
Drop Squad 52.
Yeah, Drop Squad 52. I'm trying to continue that conversation.
And dude, maybe you don't understand what that conversation was, because for you to say it's insignificant for us to go back that far, you have to go back that far. Number one, that's the time period that we were talking about in the conversation. Okay. So to say it's insignificant and pathetic to talk about the time period that you were talking about in the conversation about the time period you were talking about, that doesn't make sense.
Okay. So let me make it make sense to you.
All right.
So we're really talking about trying to not judge things as though as we see them right off rip. Doing the investigation. That was what you said. That was what you said, right?
I'm not even sure what you're talking about now.
No, you were saying when Drop called you, what you were saying was we have to not listen to what the police basically say to us right off rip and do investigation and all that other stuff. We believe what people say, and then you said that parties they make and try to get you to believe one way, and see, like I said, that shit.
No. That's not what I said. I didn't bring up parties. I did not bring up any political party.
You didn't bring up the parties, but Drop brought the parties up.
Right.
I was just trying. Man, listen to me. You already know my words get. If I get frustrated, my words gonna get confused.
Okay.
And you do that shit on purpose. I know you do.
What?
Now, no, you do it on purpose so you can twist me up. So now I want you to say what you said to me or to Drop to me. Can we start from there?
Well, here's why I don't want to start from there, because that wasn't the conversation that I was having.
Okay. Well, what was it? Well, what was it? Just clue me in, because I mean, you just be on that bullshit.
The conversation.
You just be on that bullshit.
The conversation.
Why did you ask me what you just asked me?
That was a.
Why did you just ask me? Why did you just ask me? Did I believe in the voting rights bill?
Because we were having a totally different conversation.
Okay, why did you ask me?
I'm trying to tell you. Let me get the words out. Because we were having a different conversation, and I thought you said you wanted to leave that conversation alone and get back to the initial conversation that I was having. So is that not what you want to do?
Okay, I'm gonna ask you again. Why did you ask me that question? Why did you ask me that particular question? Why?
Do you really want to know? Because when I was trying to tell you, you dismissed me.
What is wrong with you?
I'm just trying to have a.
You can fuck with me. I mean, go ahead, man. If that's
Okay,
entertaining for
hold
you.
on. I asked you that question because you were making the point that both parties are messed up. And I was agreeing with you. But the point that I was making by asking you that question is that while both parties may be messed up, there are some significant issues and significant times in history and significant legislation that they can both be messed up. But you got to go with what's best for your people. So if
Go ahead.
So if you're looking at it and you're saying, hey, both parties are messed up, but one party is trying to take your rights from you, and the other party is trying to protect your rights.
So now I'm confused about that. So what party is trying to take our rights?
They were not allowing black people to vote.
What party is trying to take our rights right now?
We weren't talking about right now.
What party was what party was trying to take their rights when they were when they signed the civil rights bill?
The Democratic Party.
They signed the civil rights bill, okay, and the Republicans signed it. But they signed the civil rights bill, and who tried to take our rights from there?
The Democratic Party.
No. How did they try to take our rights from 64?
They didn't want people to.
No. You give me a specific. You deal with specifics. That's what you told me. You did with facts. Give me a fact. Give me a fact. You told me you narrowed me down to facts.
I'm trying.
Preached all that shit to me.
I'm trying.
Come on, give me a fact.
I'm trying.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want people even after the voting. No. This is a fact, Ron. This is a fact.
We're working out that fact up.
Internet. Just Google. Google voting. Just Google voting in Selma, Alabama during the civil rights struggle. Just Google that. Google that.
My man.
Google Selma, Alabama, 1965, black people voting. Google that.
Bruh.
Ron, I'm being honest. I'm being honest right now. Yeah. You have to be kidding or just thinking that what you're doing is creating some sort of good conversation or something like that. You be
bullshit, and I don't understand why you be doing that shit.
What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing?
Okay. First of all, why are we back there? Why we back there?
We already went through this. We back there because Drop Squad 52 brought up Democrats in his conversation of what I was talking about today. And then he referenced back to Democrats, Republicans being the one who were in favor of the Civil Rights Act. And I had to point out to him that was a different Republican Party. That's why we're back there.
Yeah, but you knew that you were basing it on the fact of judging the Republicans and Democrats now.
What are you talking about? Okay.
Yeah, you did that because you were taking and judging the Republicans that we are dealing with
Ron,
now.
I wasn't talking
And
about Democrats or Republicans. I didn't bring up a party because
when
I wasn't
when
discussing
when
a party.
when Rock brought the situation up, you made sure that you had referenced the Republicans and basically the Republicans that we are dealing with now. I
No,
told
I
and what
didn't.
I'm saying.
I referenced what
Okay. So the
happened in the
Republicans that we're dealing with
past.
now are okay. So the Republicans that we're dealing with now are okay.
No,
Oh, the Democrats that we're dealing with now are okay.
no.
Okay, that's where the fuck I wanted to get to. That's where the fuck I wanted to get to. I mean, again, both parties are not in our best interest when it boiled down to it. But we got to go ahead and make sure that we do what's right for us. And you said what's right or what's right for us, but I don't think you were including me because what's right for evidently what's right for all these other people ain't right for me. And why you say you hate it? What's up?
I don't even
What's
know
up?
what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about.
You
So I'm
man,
gonna let
Lord
you
have
just
mercy.
go ahead, say what you got to say,
So so
and
so
hopefully it'll make
so
sense.
what was it so all right, man. Okay. Anyway, like I said, I don't talk like that. And y'all motherfuckers, if you want better results in your life, you got to kick out better shit. Peace.
All right. I'm sorry. At some point during the conversation, I didn't know what we was talking about. I got confused. I really did. I got confused. We went to the past, to the present, to the present, to the past. Then we were talking about the past, and then we were wondering why we were talking about the past. Like, because we're talking about the past. Well, why are we back here? Because this is what we. So I'm sorry. Sometimes I just get confused. I just get confused. But let me, if I can remember what I was about to say. Twin. I saw Twin's name. That's what I was about to say. All right. We keep talking about how we need to change the culture in our community. I don't disagree with that. We need to change the culture in our community. People think this is cool, and people think that's cool, and people think shooting guns is cool, and people think all of this stuff is cool. You know who's it? They don't want me to get this out. They don't want me to get this out. CK?
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Livingston?
CK, I'm doing good. Can I get this out and then come to you?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, my bad.
That's all right. No, you didn't do anything wrong. Let me get this out. We like to blame rap music. We like to blame TV. We like to blame absent fathers. We like to blame, and all of that may contribute to it. But can I tell you what I think contributes a great deal to that problem of our community standards? Some of the people who claiming that we need to change those community standards. All right? The people that we glorify. Oh, he was a gang member. He's somebody. How do you believe that sends the message that being a gang member ain't good? He one of them squares. I don't know that they say squares or whatever.
Yeah, they say.
He one of them squares. He one of them lames. He don't get into nothing. How do you, if you are putting down people who ain't never been in a gang, who ain't never shot nobody, who ain't never shot at nobody, who didn't grow up in the hood and have some bad stuff under their belt, who can't look back. When you look back fondly on your past and you say, yeah, I used to, steal from people here and there. Wink, nod. You know what I'm saying? What message do you really think you say? You can say, after you do all of that, you can say how bad it is, right? It's like me telling my son, let me tell you about my history. I used to be a hoe. I used to get out. I used to be killing them hoes. Boy, they love this thing. You know what I'm saying? I had 10 hoes Monday. I had 10 hoes Tuesday. I had 15 hoes on Wednesday. You don't even want to know how many bitches I was fucking on Saturday, son. Oh, I used to kill them, son. I used to kill them. I'm telling you, you don't know about your daddy. You don't know about your daddy. But you don't do any of that. That's bad. That's bad. It's not good. What message did I really send to him? No matter what I said about how bad it is, I talked longingly, glorifyingly, laughingly, jokingly, reminisced about all of the bad stuff that I did. What message am I actually sending to my son? This is the way to be. So again, even if I follow it up with, I was wrong for that. I was wrong for that. And I don't want you to do that. I want to teach you to do things the right way, son. I want you to always be faithful. I want you to wait until you get married to have sex. I want you to do, I can do all of that. But when I was talking about, oh, you should have seen your dad. Oh, your daddy used to kill him, son. Your daddy used to tear that ass up. Boy, your daddy used to. The message that I'm sending is that that's the way to be. And yes, there was a little hyperbole there, but that's what a lot of people do, and they ain't even thinking about the fact that they do it when they sit there and talk about their criminal past and all these glowing terms and dog out the people who didn't do it and give some level of great importance to the people who ravaged our community. They don't ravage the community no more, so, that's somebody who you should look to. You're sending the message that what he used to do, all that bad stuff, is good. We have to stop doing that. We got to stop glorifying gang members and talking about the crimes that we committed in our youth, talking about them like they was good. We can see the glimmer in your eye when you talk about it. We can hear the way you talk about the squares who was too scared to go with us and rob them white people, but we used to go rob them white people and so on and so forth. Gotta stop doing that. Stop doing. You're contributing to the culture that you say is destroying our community. And I think you're doing it without even knowing what you're doing. But you are definitely doing it. But soon as you tell a square, you don't know nothing about this life. See, nobody want to listen to you. You don't know nothing about. What you're saying to any young person that's listening is, I don't want to be the square. I don't want to be the square. Because you dogging him out. And the young person listening like, who want to be the dude that's the square? Young people pick up on that stuff. Well, I'm not saying it to glorify it, but you are. So maybe if we watch the way we talk about it and we watch who we glorify and we watch who we put down. You've been a goody two shoes his whole life. Don't nobody want to be around no goody two shoes. Hold on. So what you gonna teach your son? Your son just heard you call him a goody two shoes. He been a goody two shoes his whole life. When you gonna tell your son, oh, you should be a goody two shoes? Your son gonna look at you like, please, Ian, I heard the way you talked about that goody two shoes. I don't want to be that. I want you to respect me. Dad, I want you to respect me. And I saw the respect that you showed for goody two shoeses. So I'm definitely not going to be that. You're like, well, but son, I'm a goody two shoes now. But was you a goody two shoes when you was growing up? Do you respect the people who were goody two shoes when you were growing up? Because the way you talking about them, you clearly didn't and don't. I don't know where he got this stuff. I don't know why he acting like that. You're perpetuating the culture that you claim is destroying our community by glorifying it. I think we should stop doing that. CK.
That's my soliloquy. That's my soliloquy. It sounds ignorant because it's coming out of your mouth, not mine. Ain't that what you hit him with? You said that to the caller before.
Well, he said that something that he said sounded ignorant.
Yeah, you killed. Hey man, but check it out. Squares. We have started teaching the kids that squares is good. The gangsters is bad. G is for gay. You see what I'm saying? In Chicago, that stuff that they gay.
I'm not sure that anybody's actually teaching that. I'm not sure that people are teaching that G's is for gay.
Yeah, G's is gang bangers. Yeah, I'm saying if you're a gang banger, you're weak. You can't stand on your own, sir. So you need a bunch of people, to back you up. That's a gang, so that's a sign of weakness. That's not respected. You think all those black people killing each other in Chicago is respected? That's looked down. That's frowned upon.
Bro.
That's cowardly.
I think I agree with you, but I don't think that's the message being sent out.
Yeah,
that's the message. Hold on, let me be clear. That's the message that people say, but it's not the message that they send.
Right. No, but I send it straight up like this. Okay, you want to be a hustler? You want to be in the streets? The snitching stuff is big time, right? So I tell them, stop crying about snitching. You are criminal. Snitching comes with crime. What are you crying about the snitches for? You tough, right? And if you're a gang baby, you rolling 60 or something, why you not telling the judge that? Throw up your set to the judge. Be who you say you are. So you are being a coward by definition. Because soon as now when that trial going on right now with Young Thug, he ain't claiming blood and all that now. Throw it up to the judge. Show me you are who you say you are. So in definition, you are being a coward. You saying I'm a guy, man, you don't know about these streets. You don't know me. Yeah. So the brag is showing you cowards. Like you said, when you say, yeah, I used to say it. No, I'm more impressed when a guy tell me I ain't never had a black man tell me I never had no pair of handcuffs on. I'm like, yeah, I like that. Or you tell me you got a scholarship, graduated at 15. That's the type of stuff that impresses people. What I say, put God first.
CK, may I interject?
Yes, sir.
Here's why I disagree with you. I watch, a significant amount of stuff. Can I take comedy? Let me take gangs out of it, right?
Okay.
I watch comedians. I don't remember none of these dudes' names, okay? But the dude that kind of kick it with Dave Chappelle.
Oh, yeah. Ashy Larry.
There's another dude who he kind of beefing with right now. Do you know who that is?
Corey Corey Holcomb
Corey Holcomb's
from Chicago.
Corey Holcomb's knock on Ashley Larry is what?
You ain't street. I'm from the street. You right.
Ashley Larry, instead of saying, I'm not from the street, what was his retort? What was his comeback?
Excellent. I am gangster. The streets do love me. You right. But let's go to the next one.
Well, wait a minute,
Mayweather
hold on. Let's
versus
finish with this one. Let's finish with this one,
Okay.
and then
Yes,
we go to the next one. Of course, the point of that is Corey is basically saying if you a straight-laced dude who ain't into crime and street violence and thuggery, you're nothing. And instead of saying, I disagree, I'm a comedian and I'm funny, the response is, I am from the streets. I am into thuggery.
Right.
I am into all of this negative stuff. So who are you to tell me that your thuggery is better than my thuggery? What
Right.
message
Right.
is that sending to young people? And then they'll both get up, I'm sure, and talk to kids and say, hey, all that street stuff, go to school, read your books, get a good education, become something. So they'll say them streets ain't no good. But the message that they're sending with their words and their actions is what? If you ain't in them streets, you ain't shit.
Excellent analysis. And you're 100% right about those two guys. But the respect was lost soon as you seen it. Oh, these some clowns. You a clown. Don't nobody Bill Haney said the same thing to Floyd Mayweather, right? He said, forget 50-0. I'm 50-0 in these streets. What Mayweather told him, he said, I'm not a part of the streets, Bill, and neither are you. So the streets is something. It's like it's like you just using it to try to act cool. It's like it's kind of popular to say.
Right, but if we
real
wasn't,
people,
but if we wasn't pushing the idea that the streets is cool, then that wouldn't be something that people said to act cool.
yeah, you're right. But the facts I got for you is when you listen to Wyatt and Livingston, King and I, when you listen to CK and Livingston, we are promoting these for years. We've been talking this same stuff for years. So we are you got two different, you got the dumb niggas we be talking, the dumb primates we be talking about that's steering the youth in the way, but we're laughing at them. We're laughing at Corey Holcomb like, you a clown. You really, so do you believe this or is this what you preaching? So I'm saying it's like a civil war. So it's like we split at our generation where a lot of guys at our feet, we're going to win because we're going to say, come on, man. Ain't nobody talking that street stuff but a clown. You know, you sound regular when you start talking, oh, hey, you can see me. So what is you, 21? You're 55 years old, 54. We're talking about Corey Holcomb. So he sounds ridiculous when he's talking about the streets. And I would call him out on it. And you got to think, when Floyd told him, he said, listen, I'm not no street guy. So Floyd is at the top. He's the top of the pinnacle. People looking at Floyd, and they hear Floyd say, I'm not the streets. What the hell is you talking about? This is boxing. So now y'all want to bring, like you just said, he is addressing what you're talking about at the highest level.
And I
so
think
you want to bring the streets to everywhere.
But I think it interesting. While I understand to some degree, because I'm not a boxer, while I understand the nuances of the sport, little kids see people punching each other. So it takes a person who, I'm a kid. I see this dude who participate in violence for a living be the one to say, that ain't the way. But that's your way. Like that, it takes the violent dude to say that violence ain't the key. What message are you really sending? I'm Money Mayweather because of these hands. But I don't want you to be violent.
Because no, I'm not. No, I'm telling you the streets. I'm who I am because of the athleticism, because of the sport. Not because of the streets. Because of the violence.
That's how old are you? That's a grown man's.
I'm 48.
That's a 40, I didn't hear what you said exactly, but that's a
48.
48-year-old analysis, understanding that it's a sport where you use your mind and your athleticism. And maybe I was slow, probably. But I remember as a kid watching boxing. I didn't know it was some great mind and all that kind of stuff. I saw two people fighting and people cheering it on.
Right.
So fighting, it wouldn't have mattered what Larry Holmes said or what Aaron Pryor said. Hey, don't be violent. Bro, I watch you be violent all the time and people cheer you on and they pay you for it. And you gonna tell me not to be violent? I hear what you saying, but the message that you sending is that violence is all right. I'm not saying that's the message that's intended. Please understand that. I don't believe most people intend to send those negative messages. But when you say one thing, but you show love for the other thing to a young person, that's really confusing.
And only reason I kind of agree with you, but the only reason we try to do that, I think, because athleticism in America is like a lottery ticket. You know what I mean? But this is what I'm going to leave you with, 'cause I got to get back to work, man. Much love to the family. I just want to say this. This is how I learned as a child. I remember this white dude, I was probably in the 10th grade, and I was talking about Ice Cube. And this white dude told me, I was like, yeah, Ice Cube, man, he's doing good. He said, yeah, man, you know that guy went to college. And as a child, you know what I said? I said, that's good. I said, what you? So I took it as racism and everything. I said, oh, so what? He not? I said, you do understand he's an entertainer. So you got to think. When I listen to Corey Holcomb and all them, I'm thinking they listen to rappers and believe what they say. If you that stupid to believe these entertainers, you're ridiculous. So I know Ice Cube, even as a kid. Here's a little something about a homie like me. Never should have been locked in the penitentiary. You know, I already know he's a kid telling it. He ain't much older than me.
Let out the penitentiary, but I get your point.
Yeah, let out the penitentiary. Right. King of talk, don't get you. But man, I just want to say that struck a nerve with me as a child when I always knew that this was entertainment. You know what I mean? So I think Floyd Mayweather's an entertainer, and then when you get frustrated with him, now you want to bring up the streets. And like Floyd checked them. Hold on, this ain't got nothing to do with the streets, homie. You trying to take it somewhere else because you losing in this profession. Don't go to the streets now. That's what a loser does. The streets ain't got. All right, let's talk about the streets. The streets don't love nobody. Ain't nobody won in the streets. People do love the streets, but the streets don't love not one person. Not one person. And I'm going to end my soliloquy with that. Much love to the show, brother.
CK, I appreciate your call. I appreciate the call. And I agree with what he's saying. But at the same time, and I said it. I mean, I said pretty much what I meant. And you're expecting a 6-year-old, a 7-year-old, an 8-year-old to make that distinction. Twin.
What's up, man?
How you doing, sir?
I ain't doing too good.
Oh, why not? Hot?
I was laughing at you. You kept breaking me up. But I'm on a serious tip, on a serious note. First of all, fucking CK, fucking G don't stand for gay, motherfucker. Come to approach a real nigga when you say something, man. That goofy gay shit you just said, you out of bounds for that, motherfucker. You bogus as hell for that disrespectful ass shit. You don't know the fucking streets, motherfucker. If you know, you'll know better. Shit, that goof ass shit that came out your mouth, you disrespectful like a motherfucker, nigga. That gay ass shit you talking about, you gotta see why old girl left you a goofy, man. A straight clown. That goofy shit you talking about, man. Go on with that disrespectful shit. I stand on this shit, man. I come from the street. So that goofy shit you hollering about on here, man, don't do that.
Hold on,
do that, cuz.
Hold on. I think you misunderstood the point that he was making.
I heard what he said, But goddamn it, well, I don't
but hold on. But what was the point that he was making?
Back the fuck up, Emmanuel. I know this
What?
your show.
Hold on,
Back
what?
the fuck up.
No.
No, sit in that book baby chair right now. I got the show.
I don't.
No.
Come on, twin. Don't make me hang up on you by being super disrespectful.
Man, Emmanuel, he said some disrespectful shit like that, and you didn't check him about it.
Hold on.
Talking about the G stands for gangster. Come on,
What
don't do that.
No,
Man,
I told him that. I did check him on it.
Emmanuel,
I told him that
take
it didn't stand for that.
I take that shit personal.
Hold on.
Don't do that, man.
Why would you take that personal?
Motherfucker, you gonna tell the G stand for gay.
Do it?
Motherfucker, don't do that.
Hold on, does it?
You know what the fuck it stands for?
Right. So why would you be that upset?
No, man. Don't do that.
Why would you be that
Don't do that
upset?
shit.
Because that man, the point that he was making was the message that maybe need to be sent to these kids is that joining the gang is not good.
Man,
That was the
man,
point.
I understand his fucking point, but certain things you shut the fuck up on.
No.
You talk too damn much. No, don't tell me no, man.
Yeah,
Stop
no.
it, man. Okay, then, man. This your show. What's up, man? I understand what he was making, but certain things just gotta stop at a level, man. I know I joke around on here and shit, but I cut it off at a certain time. Shit. But when you say all that G stand for gay, and come on, man. That's disrespectful. You go holler at one of them. P stands for pussy for power. B stands for bitch for blood. You go get your goofy knocked off, man. I come from the street. I don't be disrespectful like that. Shit, and then people don't glorify this shit when they put their gay shit on social media and all that. Do y'all say something about that?
Wait. Yes.
When
When people put gay stuff, then I say they are glorifying and they are trying to influence our young people.
When Lil Nas and Lil Uzi showing them purses off and dresses, do y'all put shit, say something about them? Hell no.
Yes, I do.
If you was a top podcast guy on say CNN or some goofy station, they would fucking cancel culture your ass. Cancel you
That's all right.
real quick.
Maybe that's why I'm not a big dude, because I'm not, I'm physically, I'm a fat dude.
Okay,
but
I don't glorify. I don't say tell a motherfucking my son or somebody be in the gang and all that. I don't tell nobody but no shit like that. I tell motherfucker my bad.
Twin.
I don't tell nobody, hey, the gang good.
Twin.
Man, hell no.
Twin.
What, man? What?
What do it mean to be a real nigga? What do that mean?
When a person say he a real nigga or something like that, he know the street. He's been through the fire, man.
Right.
That's
so,
a real nigga.
Wait.
Somebody who loyal to the street.
Wait,
somebody loyal to his family.
So tell me, what's the opposite of a real nigga?
Yeah, I just told you, man.
No, I said what's the opposite of a real nigga?
Opposite of a real nigga, somebody like your ass. Damn.
Exactly. Exactly. So wait a minute.
It go both ways, man.
Right. That's this is the point that I'm making. You say you don't glorify it, right? But if I'm 8 years old and I hear Twin saying that gang members are the real niggas and fake niggas is dudes like me who ain't never been in the street, ain't never committed a crime, ain't never been to prison, ain't never shot nobody, ain't never got shot at, ain't never stole.
I consider you as a fake nigga when you try to condemn me of what I did in the past or some goofy shit.
No, that's from the mind of a 50-something-year-old former gang member. I'm talking about in the mind of a 7-year-old kid hearing somebody say that street niggas are real niggas and niggas who ain't from the street is fake niggas. What 7-year-old want to be a fake nigga?
You know where they get that off? Some Me Too ass nigga off TV or somebody who been around.
No, I'm asking you, what 7-year-old do you think want to be the fake nigga?
I don't know no 7-year-old.
Right. So how do you say you not glorifying it when you calling the gangsters real niggas? 7-year-old hear that. What do the 7-year-old think? I don't want to be a fake nigga. That means being the real nigga is the thing to be.
I never said that. You probably heard it from somebody.
No. I'm not saying. No, I agree. You didn't say those words. I'm not talking about the words you say. I'm talking about the message you send by the words you say. If you're calling gangsters real niggas, then you calling people who ain't gangsters fake niggas. And what 7-year-old want to be a fake nigga? So the message that
Listen,
you
man.
sending to 7-year-olds when you call gangsters real niggas is this is what you want to be, not one of them fake niggas. Because you agree, ain't no 7-year-old out there thinking, I want to grow up to be a fake nigga.
No, I ain't thinking like that. It's just that social media it's a new environment, man. It's a new thing, man. This stuff like say about 25 years ago would have never went on, man. Back in '96 or something like that, this shit would have never went down like this. But it took the government to put away our people, man. All that shooting in Chicago, like they so-called saying shit, that's a violation all across the board. The government knew what the fuck they was doing. Reagan all they ass when they put that dope up in there.
I agree.
And shit, put us against each other. We was on our way to reconcile do a fucking peace treaty, man. Well, what they do? Oh, the vice said y'all doing this. The Mo said y'all doing this. Man, we started going to war like motherfucker. Jeff Ford and Larry, all of them into it and shit, and the joints sending hits in the joints and on the street. So, man, the government fucked up everything like he's fucking up society, man. My thing is this. I don't care less about that damn voting and stuff. We the people should vote. Vote their ass out that goddamn White House or whatever and stand on these goddamn streets, man, and bring back the black community, man.
But Twin,
that's all ain't nothing but some fucking bullshit that's going around in this fucking country. That's why we can't get along for shit like this,
I don't think that's why. Twin,
what's the fucking reason, man?
I'm trying to
Money?
tell you what I think is a part of the reason. And I
Preach,
feel like
man.
you either not hearing me or you dismissing me. What I agree that the government is a part of the issue. A part of the issue. I agree that there's a lot of other factors, but I think some of us play a large role in it too by glorifying the wrong stuff. And we looking at our kids like, I don't want you to do what I did. I don't want you to do what I did. But we looking at the stuff that we did like, you remember when we did so-and-so? Nigga, you crazy. That was crazy, nigga. And they hearing that. And then we look at them and say, but don't be like that. Don't do that. Don't do that. They just watched you laugh and joke and have such a good time about your past that you say you ain't glorifying, but they want to be that because it sounded good. We have to be more careful about how we glorify or how we talk about our past and what we glorify, not by our words necessarily, but by the message that those words send. That's all I'm really saying. So again, that's why I'm using the real nigga term when you say, you know, them street niggas is real niggas. You saying to a you know, some 7-year-old somewhere, I don't want to be no fake nigga. I mean, I need to be a street nigga.
Yeah, when I talk to these shorties, man, and they, you know, I see them doing wrong, like jumping on people's cars or selling weed or some goofy stuff. I always try to educate them. So I'm like, man, I'm from Chicago, man. One of the roughest city, whatever, Inglewood. And then I tell them out here, I say, man, you don't want to do that, man. I say, man, you go to 2020 and shit, then you go up there and Chillicothe somewhere and shit. You don't want to do that and stuff. And they come with this and stuff. I say, where your dad at, man? Where your mom? Well, my mom at work. Where your dad? He in jail. I say, you want to be next to your daddy then, man? I say, don't do that, man. I say, man, get your education, do a hustle, do something. Go get you a girlfriend or something, man. Chill. You don't want to be going to 2020 or doing goofy shit, man. I say, that joint shit ain't nothing, man. You want your freedom. You want to wake up to the white man or somebody got down, you bending over or something like that, getting your cupcake. I say, don't do that, man. Enjoy your freedom while you're young, man. Enjoy life. That's why I try to preach to you. I don't be on that. Hey, I used to be in the game, man. This the thing. No, I don't be on that shit. I just tell them how it is and stuff. I don't really get them, but to each his own. I don't know, man. But I still blame the government and all that for this bullshit. They knew what was going on and took the damn fathers out the house and shit. I knew what type of shit that was going on back in '96, man. We was coming together as one, man. And all of a sudden, shit, this and that, man, it's crazy, man. That's what that politician, I ain't getting into that shit, man. I care less about who wins. They ain't gonna benefit me, shit. Y'all been hollering, they gonna do this, they gonna do this since I was born. To each his own. Y'all go to them polls. I'm not. Only poll I'm going to is on my hip. The motherfucker that I'm carrying. I ain't with all that, man. I'm trying to join life to the full. But, Eman,
Yes, sir.
Tierra Powell was on early.
Uh-huh.
I caught a little bit of it, not all the way because I was working at my other job. But she said the administrators know what was going on, but they don't want to do nothing about it. All this shooting in the black community and the extra stuff. So you think it's like some type of, like, I don't know, quietness on that, or they just don't want to push the issue. But you look at it, reverse it the other way, man. Say if that was a white person situation. You think they would have jumped in faster than what they doing now?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Huh?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
You know? Okay.
Do I think who would have jumped in faster?
Say if it was a white boy did the same thing, shot up say it was all white people or whatever he did, you think they would have jumped quicker and solved grabbed the murder, whoever did? You think they would have jumped quicker?
No, I
than
think
what they doing now.
I think it would be the same situation. I think the only thing I think that would be different about the situation would be the response from police. Instead of having a statement saying there are eyewitnesses and those eyewitnesses have not come forward, that detective would have been saying, we've had a lot of community people come and tell us what they saw, but we need more.
That's bullshit, man.
I think that gives a different message, but I think it would be the, I mean, think about it. If you at the park and you don't know who did the shooting, what can you tell the police? Other than, you know what I'm saying, he had on a blue shirt. He got in a red car. He had, you know what I'm saying? That's really all you can do. So if the people who know don't tell, you can't put that on the community because they don't know. But I think the police would respond the same given the same information.
Well, I look at it like this, man. When that who was that? It was two of them. One of them that white girl, I think, got killed out of what's that called? Carl Leonard Center down there on Lynn off of Liberty.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Well, a white girl got killed right there, and a white boy got killed in Bond Hill. They jumped their ship so quick and shit like a fireman. They hurried up and got them niggas through, man. They caught them ASAP. But why y'all can't catch the people right now? They're doing all this killing in the West End and everything else.
Twin, it happens sometimes they do catch the people real quick. Sometimes they catch them right away. It'd be, you know, oh, this happened, and then the next day you reading this person was arrested for that shooting that you saw, you know, yesterday. That sometimes it does happen. It all depends on the information that they get and what they know.
Hey man, you go in these stores, the hood stores, and you look on their wall, I beat them wall, and you see, have you seen my son killed? Have you seen my daughter killed?
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gonna see that shit over there in fucking Indian Hills or none of that shit.
But now you're not gonna
over
see
there
that.
by Lincoln West stay at. Hell no. So why I gotta look on this post and look for you just look for solve them other two white folks murder? Why you can't solve my son murder? It's bullshit, man. And then them fucking Democrats, like she said, staying silence on the black community and stuff. But listen here, y'all can come up with black community, ask for votes every 4 years, but we can't even get goddamn it Ray and solve. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Man, they can go to hell,
wait a
man.
minute, but
they can go to hell. Fuck them Democrats, Republicans, whoever else. They full of shit.
Twin.
Them Democrats, man. That's how I look at it.
Twin.
Go ahead, man.
Democrats or Republicans are not the ones.
Man, it's basically here, man. 90% of the Democrats.
Democrats or Republicans don't conduct the investigations. So you can't be like, I'm not voting for the mayor because they didn't solve Pookie's murder. The mayor is not investigating Pookie's murder.
Ain't the motherfucker got to go to sleep and worry about, damn, Damn, New York calling him, New Jersey calling him.
It don't matter. Dude. I do not want Avtab Pureval out there trying to be no amateur detective solving crimes.
I don't want him to pump face on the podium either saying we got to do something about the crime.
We got to
Bitch, you
do
knew about
something
the
about
crime.
it. But what can, I wouldn't care if it was a Republican. What do you expect your Republican mayor to do about solving Pookie's murder?
I'm talking about them local Democrats, them councilmen and all that, while they sitting their fat ass on them seats and shit, collecting dust or whatever, and getting a paycheck for no damn reason. They can hit the community or whatever, do something about it.
What?
Shit.
What can they do?
I mean, man, hey, you know such and such, go to knock on somebody's door like the Jehovah's Witness.
That's not their job. The
Man,
only
right.
one who might be effective at that would be Scotty because he used to be a police officer. I do not want Mika Owens walking around door to door, knocking on people's doors, talking about, "Hi, I'm Mika Owens, and Pookie got shot yesterday. Do you know who did it?" I don't want Mika Owens doing that. That's not her role. That's not her job.
I was really worried about the kids. That lady that passed away, that white lady, she worried about the kids. And now what?
Nobody said they not, well, somebody might have said they not worried. It's not about whether or not they worried about the kid. See, that's one of the things, Twin, and I've been harping on this for years. One of the people have roles, right? The police's role is to do what police do. The lawyer's role is to do what a lawyer do. The doctor's role is to do what the doctor do. I do not want the lawyer going into surgery talking, "I care about this kid, let me get the bullet out."
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know.
want the
Be
doctor
safe.
coming into court talking about, "Oh, I care about the kids, let me argue this case." And I don't want the city councilman talking about, "Oh, I care about the kids, I'm going to investigate the murder." People have roles, and I think sometimes we forget about that, and we want everybody to be everything, and that's not the way it's supposed to be.
All right, man, if you say so. All right, man, I ain't gonna hold you up. You be safe.
All
PK,
right.
you go take a little smoke or something, man.
No,
Break time or
no
something.
smoke, no smoke.
All right, man.
All right.
Everybody be safe in the chat, man.
You too.
Uh,
Yeah, man, I really think sometimes we lose that different people have roles, right? And you can transition from one role to the next. But somebody got to be out there. Grab the phone. Caller.
Hey, how's it going, Emanuel?
It's going all right.
It was totally not my intention to call that, but it hurt. It hurt to hear stuff like that comes.
Well, hold on. Two things. First, what's your name?
Oh, it's Langston.
Langston. And are you on a speaker?
Nope.
Huh.
Hold on a second. Is my AC up too high?
No,
Okay.
having a little bit of a hard time hearing you, but go ahead.
Okay. Sorry about that. I'm struggling. I'm struggling on how change can happen by just shouting at the sky. It's disheartening to see change happen by just yelling at someone to get that to happen through that yelling. Case in point, he was saying that, the Democrats or Republicans aren't doing anything for anybody. And you may have seen this. I think it was a story with a judge. Young man comes to court. He's brought in by a police officer, and they arrest him for being in a park after hours. He has a gun in his backpack and some ammunition. I believe his mother purchased it for him. The judge asked the officers, well, why did you go in the bag? Did he do anything wrong? Was he hurting anybody? And the answers were no. And he threw the case out. I say that because that makes a difference on who you elect to put in these positions over your children, over your community, to make judgments, a sound judgment that makes sense.
Huh.
And if you don't invest in your political power, how can you make change?
Wait,
Go ahead.
I'm confused.
Yes.
they had it sounds to me like you're advocating for the abolishment of, say, the First Amendment of the Constitution, Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
Absolutely not. I maybe misunderstood.
Okay.
What part?
Well, because you said the story as you laid out is they pick up a dude, they potentially illegally search him, they take him to court. The judge says, "Did you have a legal reason to search him?" They say no. So the judge throws out the case, and you're saying that's a bad judge. So if you think go ahead.
Opposite. That was the complete opposite.
Oh.
What I'm saying is, if we want to use titles, if you want to say, if you have liberal judges, if you had a conservative judge in that same position, would that same action happen?
Hopefully, yes.
No. You would think so. But I think with the percentages of young men incarcerated, I have to beg to differ that it'll probably be the actual opposite.
And you're saying that's what you want?
I would like to believe that if we use our voting power to vote for people that don't have that doesn't have maybe a hold on another person that maybe likes the crime, prison, the pipeline, to fill it with young men and women, that's not actually vested in that, then maybe they'll just give a fair and balanced decision. And we know, per a lot of our judges, considering the Supreme Court, that sometimes the scales are tipped because of their vested interest on the outcomes. And I think we put a lot of faith in our judges just to make sound decisions. And that's what I am saying in regards to going back to Twin, is that if you're not vested in our community in voting for people that have a vested interest in your pursuit of happiness, then you decline your power, and then you fall prey to just shouting at the clouds.
I do agree with you 100% on that. Although I'm still not 100% clear, and it's not important to your point, but I'm still not 100% clear where you stand on that judge throwing out the case.
I agree with the judge.
Okay.
But what I'm saying, typically, we hear the horror stories of a young man being in a park after hours with a weapon, that we're going to hold you over until we can find something that may fit that you shouldn't have had it in the first place, even though it's your legal right at 18 to have a weapon in certain states.
Yeah.
I say this because I'm sure there's a lot of people that can't afford attorneys. They get given one, and they say, hey, we might as well go ahead and plead out to this year or two in jail. It'll be nothing. At least, you'll blah, 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 blah. And then there you go, your life. As opposed to a judge that took a vested interest in really hearing out the evidence.
Yes.
I say this again to Twin, that Twin has to be vested in what's going on with people that control your life, and the way that we pay taxes, and the way that we pay for things that affect our way we live. And if you're just saying, oh, they're all in the same bucket, they're all just doing this and that, and throwing your hands up at the political system, then you have a whole nother party that are clapping their hands saying, bravo, we got another one in our pocket. And it makes me angry, sad, and just frustrated at all the things that I'm seeing when there's such a rich history of people that care about your rights and gave theirs up for you. I just don't understand. I seem like I'm ranting now. But
I understand what you're saying. I understand even why you're ranting, because it's frustrating. At some point, I had to come to terms with, just like you have a right to vote, you have a right to not vote. And like you said, to give up your power. And if you make the decision to give up your power, then a part of me wants to see more power to you, but then less power to you, because that's the decision that you made, and you have that right.
Absolutely.
But it is frustrating.
Yes, I mean, I used to live in Texas for a little while, but I was just looking at the numbers. I think from this previous cycle when what was his name? Beto ran, and through all that work, they had almost a little over 70% of minorities that didn't vote, even though Texas almost holds like the top 2 or 3 most minorities in the state, which these should be easy swings. These should be easy swings of power where we can start to control what goes on in our judicial systems, our economic systems, putting towards programs that, like he was talking about the young men that were jumping on a car, that people that are vested in finding out ways to help these young men to maybe with their time, to give them a trade, to help them with something during the summer. I've never seen a kid that doesn't want to do something, be active in something. So maybe you want to align with someone that has that same vested interest as you. But to say that no one cares and you give 2 figs about what happens except for your stories off the old porch from the old guy telling you about what it was and what he did, and you don't want to go that route, but you're not giving direction. If a young man wants to go find a way to apply himself to whatever it may be, maybe that's the direction you should be helping them with. Instead of saying, oh, you don't want to get in trouble, go find you a girlfriend. I mean, what kind of direction really is that? And I'm not knocking to it. I think he comes from a good place. But I think that his methodology is a little skewed, and maybe it's not his fault, but I think that he could do so much better by saying, hey, you know what? I haven't been doing good in voting, but you know what? I'm going to take that, and I'm going to go vote anyway. And I'm going to actually start going around door to door to see, hey, young kid, are you 18? Can you say that you're going to vote with me on that day? These are really positive changes if he wants to see change in his neighborhood that he actually could do, instead of cursing and ranting about what he can't do. Like I said, it bothers me when people throw in the towel and you haven't even begun to fight, because there is another side of this that are fighting to make sure that this is a Handmaid's Tale in fiction, and we got to do better than that.
All right. Hey, Langston, I appreciate your call.
No worries, brother. Have a good weekend.
You do the same. All right. And y'all, I got to get out of here. I do have things that I have to do tonight. So I appreciate all of y'all. Hold on, let me take this down because I am not Langston. I want everybody to enjoy your weekend. Try to be careful about the messages that you're sending to people. Not just young people, but people in general. So just try to be careful about the messages that we're sending. Blade, I see you. I can give Blade like maybe a minute. Blade, you got maybe a minute because I got to get out of here.
Okay. Hey, man, it's good people got their own opinion, but when you got a good talking Negro to talk to his nose, putting Twin down like that, man, I think that I'm highly offended. I mean, I understand the good Negro's point talking through his nose, but just because a person don't want to vote doesn't mean he's ignorant. It's getting kind of tiresome that good Negroes that talk on the phone but won't say it to a person's face. It's getting played out, because, I know the nerd and the gangster, but when the nerd starts getting his ass whooped in person, then the good Negro talking through his nose is going to have a different opinion. Let's come together and quit talking greasy on the internet and talk to that person. If you want to enlighten somebody, talk to them in person. I'm pretty sure if these good Negroes that call your show talking about Twin can find Twin on them streets. What you think, partner?
I think you're sending the wrong message, like what I was talking about earlier. How you gonna tell me what I think? That is what I think.
Okay, that's what you think, but what I think good Negroes to talk to their nose need to go on. If you want to enlighten somebody, find them, homie. Peace out.
All right. And that's what I'm talking about. I had no idea, but that's what I'm talking about. Two people who didn't agree with each other, having conversation. Of course, they weren't on the phone together. I don't currently have the ability to do that. And then somebody calls in and the good nigga talking through his nose. Find the dude and get your ass beat. What message are you sending? Oh, we want to change the attitude of the community. And so we want the attitude to be that if somebody say something that you don't like, use violence towards them. Like actual violence. Beat them up, shoot them, whatever you got to do. Do that. That's how you handle it. That's the message that people keep sending. I don't think he meant to send that message, but that's clearly the message that he sent. And our kids, our young people are hearing that. And so you might call back Monday and be like, oh no, gangs is bad and violence is bad and we need to fix the community and the purge. But the message that you sent is, if you don't like something somebody say, find them and beat their ass. And we know nobody beat ass anymore. They pull out guns and start shooting. I don't know why people shooting, because we encouraging it. We're unintentionally encouraging it. Preston says, that's not what I got from Blaze Call. You not 10. You're not 10. A 10-year-old, an 11-year-old, a 12-year-old, I could imagine that's what they would get from that. You don't like what somebody say, be violent towards them. That's terrible. That is terrible. We need to stop sending those messages, and I got to get out of here. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Whatever y'all do, don't be out there being violent towards each other. Try to be careful about the messages that you send, and be the reason that somebody smiles every day this weekend. Till next time. I'm out, y'all. Peace.